Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I kind of want to talk to you guys about this question. Is Hu main DPS or sub DPS? And can she be a great burst support in case you don't want her as your main DPS or you don't have the resources for her to be main DPS? And that is what I want to talk to y'all about today. So before I get started, I want to say thank you for all the comments from last video. I love talking to y'all about this game. It's great hearing other people's opinions and ideas. I am in no way an expert in Genshin Impact, but I do try my best to give y'all accurate information that I have learned up to this point of the game. So if I mess up, go easy on me on the comments, please. If not, it's okay, whatever, right? But before we get started, I want to do a quick shameless plug and say that I stream on Facebook gaming daily, 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time Zone, except Mondays. And I know a lot of y'all think Facebook is lame, but unlike Twitch, it actually favors me in its algorithm. So yeah, check me out for daily Mona/waifu content and definitely Hu content whenever that day comes, because I will be pulling for the day of and she will be on my main team. Because remember, waifu over meta always, no matter what. Anyways, let's get started. So let's first talk about sub DPS versus main DPS, right? I mean, what's the difference really? At the end of the day, don't you just want more damage? I think there's a common misconception of DPS versus sub DPS. So I think for main DPS, we're just gonna call it as somebody who can stay on the field and provide consistent damage without being limited by any conditions. And sub DPS means that for at least a certain amount of time, they can provide big value that a main DPS can provide, but are limited to time constraints or some kind of reason that they need to leave the battlefield. So with that being said, let's look at Hu. In case you don't know who Hu is, most of you already know who this little kawaii cutie is, but just in case you don't, let's just go over a quick overview. She's a pyro character, 5-star pole arm, right? TLDR is basically, she got big HP, but she got low base attack. Her ascension level up is crit damage, meaning, ooh, let's do some big damage. She's got, she's got the regular pole arm, normal attacks, etc., right? Normal charge attacks are bigger, beefier damage. You already know the drill. The main thing about her kit is basically Guide to the Afterlife, right? It gives her a base attack boost and it converts her damage to pyro damage. Cannot be overridden by any other element, just like Childe with his stance, right? And of course, you got Blood Blossom, which can only be applied with charged attacks. That's the main thing. You can only be applied with charge attacks, not normal attacks. And of course, every 4 seconds, they'll be taking some pyro damage for 8 seconds. So if you leave them alone, if you apply Blood Blossom onto the enemy once, they should take 2 of these freaking Blood Blossom effects. Now, the main thing I want to focus on here is Hu cooldown, 16 seconds, right? This is assuming that we're only gonna have 7 seconds of downtime, right? Because if you look at Childe, right, Childe kind of has a similar ability, but his cooldown doesn't start until you're out of his melee stance. But I'm pretty sure miHoYo wouldn't freaking cuck us like this, so I'm pretty sure the cooldown starts as soon as you enter the state, because if it doesn't, then that's just terrible. So for 7 seconds, you're gonna have downtime, right? Because for 9 seconds, you're gonna be freaking popping off like crazy with this skill. Big, huge HP, big, huge attack boost. Gonna be throwing out those normal attacks, charge attacks, Blood Blossom everywhere, right? All these multipliers, all these skill percent multipliers are gonna be based off her base attack because she's gonna be in that Pyramid of Papilio state, right? But Hu is gonna have to leave the battlefield, right? You don't want to keep her out there past 9 seconds. She's going to lose her attack boost. So all her normal attacks, all her charge attacks, all her even her Blood Blossom stuff is going to have a lower damage output. And a lot of people say, oh yeah, easy, sub DPS. But at the same time, it's not always about, a lot of damage comes from elemental reactions as well. So what's good about this is for 7 seconds, you'll have time to throw out some abilities from other characters, throw out some elemental bursts from other characters like Ganyu's, maybe Fischl's Oz, Fischl's E, Mona's Alt, and it even gives time for like other characters that you want to do some damage as well, such as Childe or some of those other characters that are sub DPSs because they are limited to being out there for so long. But if you're a diehard main DPS, like, oh, I want him or her out on the field the whole time, then I guess I'll tell you that no, she's not a main DPS, because after her Pyramid of Papilio ends, she's gonna lose all of her big base attack. So she's basically gonna have the same base attack as my Xinyan that I have out right now, and she's gonna be doing that damage, and it is not ideal for main DPS. And you're like, oh, Hydrosam, well, she can just use her burst, right? Well, yeah, her burst has a high skill multiplier, which which we'll get to in a second. But if there's not much to multiply off of, then it's not going to do that much damage, right? It's going to be wasted. You kind of want to do this ultimate burst while she's in Pyramid of Papilio, because you want that skill percent to multiply off of her big base attack boost that she gets. But that doesn't mean that she can't be a main DPS. She can be a main DPS, right? Like I said, you know, 7 seconds, it might seem like a long time. I don't know. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think those 7 seconds are really a huge detriment to Hu Tao's kit? Especially right in Spiral Abyss when you're trying to get those 3 stars. Do you think those 7 seconds are too long? Or can they be easily taken away by you switching to other characters and applying other debuffs and other stuff, you know, to support Hu Tao whenever it's time for her to get back on the battlefield using her skill? And I guess another thing that's also cool, like after her Guide to Afterlife ends, she also increases the crit rate of other party members by 12% for 8 seconds. So for your Childe, for your Mona, for your Ganyu, she's going to be providing that extra support when she's gone, which gives her more value than just another DPS that has to leave the battlefield without giving any value. And if you timed it right, if the last second you applied Blood Blossom on those enemies for 8 seconds, they're going to be taking that Blood Blossom damage, which is going to help you out for reactions such as, you know, Overload, Vaporize, or Melt. And so that's an advantage that Hu Tao has over other characters that are just sub DPS because they can't provide value past a certain amount of time. So what do you guys think? Main DPS, sub DPS? I think she's main DPS. Because, you know, 7 seconds, I don't think it's that bad, especially when this game is a team-based game with mixing in elemental reactions and whatnot. And plus, if you have like Mona or something, before her skill comes back, you can apply Mona's burst and give her some crowd control, like if it's against a mob, so that way she has time before her skill comes back. Or get her ready for like a big enemy, so that way you can pop the bubble with her E skill and then do some extra damage for 5 seconds after the bubble gets popped. But let me know in the comments definitely what you guys think about that, because I know the character has not come out yet, but it's fun to talk about future DPS waifus, especially since she has not even been confirmed. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. I am going to work on a more diverse Hu Tao artifact guide / speculation to discuss that with y'all based on the comments you guys are asking me in the last video. So yeah, I am definitely on the Hu Tao hype train, and I just love this game and its waifu so much. So I hope you stick around for more future content. Don't forget to join our Discord, and I'll see you all in the next video.